The longer I live, the more I realize that if you want a better quality of life as a man, you have to get rid of dating modern women and going into relationships. I know that only a few men will be able to do it and fully check out of having a girlfriend or wife and starting a family, but when you fully detach from modern women, you will feel a sense of freedom that cannot be replicated. Especially in these tough economic times that we have to live through, I can't imagine the dead weight that a lot of guys have to carry around just because they can't leave women alone and control their Johnson. Coach Greg Adams said it best, the most powerful thing a man can do is turn down women and sex, and I fully agree with that statement because a lot of men right now are where they are with their oxygen thief stifling their growth because they can't control their urge to bust a nut. You men cannot take the time away from being with a woman for 1 second to get your life on the right track. And you wonder why you feel stuck right now. I don't fully subscribe to the men going their own way movement because I can't see myself going without sex for the rest of my life, but these guys are killing it right now, and I can bet they are much happier than the men who have to maintain a relationship and keep their women in check. It's not even close when I stop and really think about the advantages these guys have and the quality of life these men can afford now that they don't have to take care of someone who's just there stealing oxygen. And the worst part is, for most men in relationships, you are literally getting the bare minimum in terms of how she treats and takes care of you. Many relationship guys are with women who can't even fry an egg or clean the house. And to make matters worse, some women are withholding sex or giving that wet vice grip to another man on the side while you're paying to not get any. Doesn't that sound like a good deal when you stop and think about it? Who wouldn't want to have a woman up under them that serves absolutely no purpose? Men need to get their priorities in order and realize that now is not the time for relationships and chasing tail. Instead, you guys should take a couple of pages out of the Men Who Have Gone Their Own Way book and completely stop dating and having sex with these women until you get your life in order. That is the best thing you can do now because times are getting harder and harder by the day with no end in sight. And it's like you guys don't realize that if you cannot maintain your boo, she'll just leave you for another man because her loyalty is to herself and her survival, not you. The same girl you are with that says she loves you so much will never leave you, will cut you off swiftly if you cannot pay the rent or keep the lights on because she already has someone as a backup plan in case you cannot take care of her. So while you are the one taking all the risk, even if she contributes to the household, you'll be the one who will be out on the streets if you cannot provide for both of you. Let's smash the like goal and get this video to 500 likes. You guys have been killing it lately, so let's try to get this message out to more men. So why am I saying all this stuff when things are bearable in the economy and some people can still keep the lights on? Well, there are now a lot of desperate women and single mothers out there who will do anything to survive, and they are willing to tell you whatever you want to hear and flood you with sex to get you to take care and house them right now. There are literally women on TikTok that are virtue signaling to men that they will do anything if they can help them to pay their bills. There are young women on Seeking who are selling their wet vice grip to old men so they can pay their rent at the end of the month. And there are young women right now on the streets selling that peace sleeve, and you guys think they don't need you more than how you need them. Do you guys think they won't do anything to have safety and security, even if that means they have to take you down with them just so they can have a roof over their heads and food in their bellies for a couple of months? Now is not the time to be saving anyone, gents. I know you guys want to bust gallons of nuts inside these women and have them sit on your face, but I'm warning you to hold off and follow in the footsteps of the men who are going their own way. These men don't wake up to a nagging and complaining woman who's there to use up his resources and leave him poorer every month. Oh no, these men wake up to peace, quiet, freedom, and a fat bank account each and every day, especially if they are a go-getter. So which side would you want to be on? The guys who are winning in life being single and free? Or the men suffering in silence and having a constant burden of performance every day? I chose to be free the day I decided to live the free agent lifestyle and go monk mode, and ever since, I wake up better and better than when I was in a relationship with my cute ex. With that said, I want you guys to internalize this, and every day you wake up, this should be on your mind if you ever feel like returning back to the plantation. Women are not with you because they like you. They are only with you to survive, and that's it. She doesn't love you or want the best for you. She wants the best for herself, and she's only with you because she couldn't do any better in terms of getting someone to commit. This applies to 99.999% of women on the face of planet Earth. Most of them need you way more than you'll ever need them, and that's a fact. I need you guys to understand that women are not selfless beings who love and want the best for everyone around them. That was Disney BS. None of that is true. Women only look out for themselves and themselves alone, and that's how they've managed to survive this long without fighting in many wars and fending for themselves. If you stop and think about it, how did women manage to last this long when they were the weaker of the sexes? Well, This is what the Gents believe happened thousands of years ago. I believe they survived this long because they can adapt to any and all circumstances and leech off of men to survive as long as they did. Let's look at war as an example to illustrate this point. When two tribes were at war and the men of the tribe being invaded lost, did the women fight back and decide to die on the battlefield along with their men and sons? Hell no, most women who were not sold off as slaves or deleted as a casualty of war accepted their position, lied on their backs for the new men, and had their kids. Of course, many of them were raped and poorly treated. But they submitted to the invading tribe's men and were cared for by their new men, and that's how they survived. That's just with war, but the fact is they have the ability to live off of the backs of men, and that's how they survive. See, they need you, and this economy has shown us that no matter how much opportunity, money, and so-called independence women get, they will always need a man to survive in this world because most of them cannot make it on their own. Period. It doesn't matter how many years of womanism and how much women's empowerment get promoted. Women will never be able to function in this world without men. Some will, for sure. Some women are doing way better than me and a lot of you watching this video, but the majority of women will never be able to do bad all by themselves because they don't want to put in the hard work and do it for decades if need be. Women just don't have that dog in them, brothers, and they don't have to do it. So why would they choose the hard path when they can take the path of least resistance and probably do better than if they try to get the bag on their own? If you know anything about women, it's that they will always take the path of least resistance over putting in hard work 9 times out of 10. You know I'm right, even if you don't want to admit it. So why can't women function when men are going their own way, free agent lifestyle, or monk mode? Well, when men don't care or want to deal with women, they can't manipulate or get anything out of men, and that's the bottom line. In order for a woman to get resources from men, they have to manipulate or transact what's between her legs to convince men to give them what they want. So when men are not interested in dealing with women or fing them, they literally have no legs to stand on or power over men. Men fall victim to women simply because of the primal need to bust a nut and provide for women. And that's how they get us and use us for their selfish wants and needs. However, the men who don't want anything to do with women, provide for them or push their inside to their esophagus cannot be manipulated or get swindled by women, and that's why they cannot allow men to abandon dating and relationships. The new world, you know who, will not allow men to walk away from relationships because if we aren't taking care of women, then the government would have to do it, and trust me, they don't want that responsibility. That's why movements like men going their own path are seen as dangerous because they need men to toe the line, open their wallets up to women, and shut the hell up. That's how the new world, you know who set the system, and that's why we get run over in the family courts, and the women lead with cash and prizes. The system runs by transferring money from men to women. Then the women spend the money and allow it to circulate in the economy, which impoverishes the family and enriches the elites of society. At the same time, the masses get poorer and poorer each and every year and become more dependent on the system, which in turn gives the new world you know who more power to carry out their agenda of total population control. That's my hypothesis on that, not a fact, but I bet I'm more right than wrong. Share the video with a man that needs to hear this message. Remember, our goal is to try and save 1 man per video. If you want to support with your wallet, the links to our PayPal and Cash App are in the description box below. And if you want to watch part 1 of this video and learn why women can't function when men don't care, then click the video on the screen right now to get this information.